Yeah, so Core's told me that's like
It's gonna be a problem.
it's okay. Let me know. They haven't been stopped. Yes, sir. Oh, you're bad. Behind the little. It is.
There's settings. How come it doesn't do this? I'm doing a live stream right now. You're okay. Wow, how does it do that? It's pretty shitty. Hello? Hello? So how's it look over here? Okay, so this isn't working to my liking. So we're gonna these two. Get it.
You got we got for next month. Clear.
Okay.
All right.
Lower this volume. Lower this volume. Hello?
Playing years, Mom? Like making plastic oil gears?
Hello. So why did it commit through? So that makes no sense. 58%. All right, end it. Edit video. Can't edit video. There we go. Public. Trying out this live stream thing on YouTube real quick. I'm going to use it as a platform in addition to Instagram and stuff like that. So I'm just trying to work out the bugs here. If you guys have any, do you hear anything weird like echoing or anything like that, give me a heads up on the chat, and I'll try to fix whatever problems come up. Doing everything on the fly. Junior showed me how to do this through another app, and it seemed to actually work pretty good. Live chat. Let's look at what's going on. So not much new going on here at Power by the Hour. Just kind of taking advantage of their internet connection. Pezzo making a whole bunch of noise in the background. But yeah, just trying to work out the bugs and everything like that. The last video I released was about all GT500 stuff and E85. Today I'm going to release a video about Gen 3 stuff. A lot of people are asking questions about Gen 3, what fits, what it fits, what it doesn't fit, what tuning solutions are out there, what aren't out there. There ain't much out there, honestly, when it comes to swap stuff. A lot of people ask the same questions over and over. Can you put a Gen 3 10R80 into a Gen 2 or Gen 1 car? Simple answer is no. There's no tuning solution at all for that. And for people swapping Gen 3 with a 10R80 into a Fox body, something like that, there's still no tuning solution. The only thing out there is a Gen 3 manual harness that Ford Racing came out with. But I'm just going to monitor the chat quick and see any bugs that I need to work out with this thing. Okay. I'll obviously try it at a time that's a little better. 4 o'clock in the middle of the day is not ideal since I'm working. But I wanted to just try it out because, you know, low traffic and see how it all goes. Echo. Too much microphone feedback. Okay, so let's see what I can do about that. Thank you, guys. How about this, guys? Is it any better?
what I have going on is I have two cameras going at the same time. I have the laptop camera and I have the phone camera at this angle to the right. Hopefully that took care of the echo. Perfect. So basically what I did was I muted the microphone on the laptop and that took care of the echo. So now I know that in order to go on a live stream, I have to mute everything on the laptop. And if I want to have the best picture quality, I use the phone. Pezzo, they're listening to you sneeze over there. Shut up. Fuck. Thanks, guys, for the feedback. Did I shampoo first or last? Do you shampoo first or last? Well, motherfucker, I'm bald, so my ass hairs get washed at the same time, so it's all good. It's funny how I kind of have the same consistent fans all the time. Tony Bolton, a couple of other guys. The BBR guys are the best. The fake BBR account. I think that's the funniest thing going. Every single time I go on or release a video or something like that, that account comes up talking about tuning in. I just think it's pretty funny. I hope he doesn't mean anything malicious, but I don't care. I don't have a dog in that fight, but I think it's pretty funny. He's like a brown Vin Diesel. Yeah, okay. So yeah, the live stream stuff is pretty good. It for whatever reason, Instagram shortens it to about an hour, right? So all you have is about an hour on Instagram, and then you're cut off, which is fine. But sometimes you're starting to get into the roll of things in it, and it kind of cuts you off. YouTube, according to YouTube, you can go like, Jesus, 8 hours. Not that I'm looking to talk to you guys for 8 hours. I mean, I got shit to do. But I'll probably do it later on in the afternoon. So what I want to do is this. Okay, next week I want to have Junior on live from his house using this medium. We're going to talk about a bunch of stuff, especially today. A bunch of stuff came up about planning your build. A lot of people plan their build with something badass and then they couple it with crap. You know what I mean? So let's say, for instance, they get a badass turbo kit, but then they couple it with a terrible engine company, a terrible injector and terrible tuning, and then they wonder why it all goes to shit. So we try our best to make sure that they get the best possible outcome, because Lund Racing has tuned a bunch of combinations. You name the combination, we've tuned it. So someone called me Beach Up. So the combinations have been vetted. So you want to go 8, so we know the combo that's quickest and easiest, and we literally have a tune file we can go boop. Because when we ask you what your goal is and you say, I don't know, a bunch of horsepower, that's not going to work. You got to give us a specific goal, and we'll try to do our best to get you out there. And a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people tend to be like, well, what do you mean? They don't even know. They have so much money and they want to tie it up into something, and they don't even know what they want to do with it. So it's one of those things that I try to tell people to think about first. And at Lund Racing, that's what we do. You say you want to go 10s NA, we have the combo. You want to go 8s with a stock 6R80, a stock motor, we have the combo. Stock Gen 2 motor. Ideal horsepower number for a daily 2013 GT. 2013 GT, I like it to be at 700 wheel. That's right. Look, once you get boost in your life, NA is fun. I just posted a video on Instagram of me beating a Terminator. A lot of people are saying it's not a Terminator, that it was electric green and it was a 99 Cobra. But it looked Mystic Chrome to me. But I could be wrong, because I don't know anything about, I know it had Cobra third brake light. I know it had Cobra bumpers, Cobra everything. So unless the guy went out of his way and put everything Cobra into a 2-valve, then shit, is that a thing? So, yeah. Once you're boosted, it's a slippery slope. Yeah, it is, especially on Gen 1 engines. We had Joshua Pinzone's car here, but he was super cool and understood exactly what I'm talking about. He's like, hey, Alex, I don't want to, chuck a rod. He's going to save up for a Gen 2 engine. And he ended up saying, hey, pulley up means lower boost, and we should be good. John Jr. says it sounds good that he's on, so that's good. Okay, so basically the purpose of this live stream is to make sure that I am not fucking up big time in terms of, how to coordinate everything. So you got to have headphones in, you got to have the cell phone camera up, and you got to have the laptop up to monitor the chat, because you can't do it all at once. It's pretty impossible. I lost a rod at 700 river horsepower with a Paxton. Yeah, dude. I mean, you got to understand, man, 700 wheel. I mean, I've seen cars go at 650 wheel. I remember Donnie Renfro, who used to have a 2014 Mustang. He ended up chucking a rod like at 650 wheel, and you know, you wouldn't have known it. It just lost a rod, and it was shit. Then you put a Gen 2 in it, and it ran for 2 more years. With cams, it went 9.1 or 9.0, or I think 9.1. So it was a badass little ride. Tony Bolton says, need more red parts on the channel. Fuck no. Not just no, but fuck no. Fuck all that red part bullshit. What max horsepower 2014 F-150 block can handle safely? Safely? Oh, 600, 620, 630, 640, around there, because it's lower compression, right? 11 to 14 Gen 1 F-150 motors are lower compression. I think they're 10 to 1. But their cams suck. Their intake cams are different than Mustang intake cams, so it's a good idea to get a set of Mustang cams in there, and that'll wake it right up. I got a sleeve. David Rule says I got a sleeve motor, and he wants to bust into the 8s. Yeah, man. If you want to bust it to the 8s, damn camera, dude, it doesn't. It like loses zoom. See, what is that? It's like too smart for its own good. Fuck it, I'll just ride out with it. So 8s. So 8s turbo or a Gen 3 VMP. Brian Collier, who is a customer of ours at Lund Racing, has a VMP Gen 3. It has a 4R200 hub, fully loaded, base package, Gen 1 car. It went 880s yesterday. Everything's badass. Do fuel additives really work? Yeah, Boostane, Torco, Lucas, Royal Purple, all that shit works. Now you're gonna get a little more octane, something out of like a Torco or a Boostane or Octanium. All those three: Boostane, Octanium, Torco, same shit. They bring your octane to the high 90s, I would say, but I definitely wouldn't say it's a replacement for something like E85. I would never do that. I would always opt for E85. I'd rather get a fuel system, spend the money for a fuel system, than to rely on additives or race gas, because you can go to any pumps, as long as you know the pump test decent, you can get 105 octane E85. Understand, also, a lot of you guys think that the more E85, the better, meaning, oh, I tested E90, can you turn it up anymore? I'm like, no, because the 90 or the 85 represents the percentage of ethanol, not necessarily the octane. It just makes it more likely to tax your fuel system the higher the ethanol content. What does that mean? It means the higher the ethanol content past 85, it's, I don't want to say thinner, because that really kind of is a dumb explanation, but less dense. So you need more volume, so it's going to tax your fuel system more. Hopefully that makes sense. If it don't make sense, I don't know what to tell you, dude. L&M cams worth it for an NA setup 1250. I've seen L&M cams make good power. I've also seen comp cams make good power. Comp cam stage 3 NAs are kind of the go-to cam for Gen 1. I haven't personally tuned a set of L&M cams, but Junior, Brandon, and Dakota, who've been doing it longer at Lund Racing, have, and the power is pretty damn good. On Gen 2, that's where it gets a little hokey. You know, the cam setup, the cam profiles, how they're cut and all that stuff is still sort of up in the air as to if they're worth it or not, because I personally haven't done any. 40 watchers, not bad. Okay, so I bought a Boss long block for my 14 GT. What would be safe zone on that engine? That is Super Jose Reina. Dakota works for Lund Racing, made 900 wheel on his Boss motor. So I'd say you could treat that like a Gen 2 motor, maybe a little better than a Gen 2 motor. So I'd say you could be 800, 850, no problem. Just make sure the tune's on point, fueling is on point, don't skimp, and it'll last a long time. But the more ease means more power, Alex. Exactly. A lot of people think that more ethanol means more power. It's not the case. It just means more ethanol. Do Cobra Jet intake manifolds on 11 to 14 5.0s really take away torque and street driving fun characteristics? You got to understand, it's a high-rise intake. Back in the day when you had a carbureted, I know people that hear carbureted, they go, when you had a carbureted Mustang back in the day, let's say an 85, right, and you would get like a Torque or 2 intake or an Edelbrock Performer intake, well, it's the low intake close to the head, so you'd have torque but no high RPM capabilities. If you wanted to have high RPM capabilities, you'd get like a Victor Jr., or I think they made a Victor or a Super Victor or something like that, real high rise. So what happens with those Super Victors, it moves the power band up. Same thing with the Cobra Jet intake, okay? You have a stock intake manifold, you have good torque. you have an 18 manifold, you have a little bit of a both. You know, you have kind of like the best of both worlds. And then with Cobra Jet and all that stuff, the power band gets moved up. So yes, it does take away torque, but I really don't think it's something that you notice where it's like, oh, it's such a dog down low. It's just not as zippy, but you're going to make more power, period. Fairmont's here. We're going to start working on it tomorrow. I think the trans is done or close to being done. I got to ask Jake. And we're going to throw the drivetrain in and see if any clearancing has to be done to the trans tunnel. I'm getting a set of headers. Yeah, Coyote swap specific 6R80 headers. I'll bring out video and everything. It's made by someone new in the market, and that's cool because it's a huge void in the market for that solution. A Coyote swapped Fox body with a UPRK member, and there are a set of headers that just fit for the 6R80 inch and 7/8 primary. That's going to be real cool coming up. What dash are you going to run on the Fairmont? I got to talk to Frank Perdomo. I got to see what he lets me get away with and all. But it's going to be a pretty nice dash at the end of it all. But my goal is to make Texas 2K. I already paid. I'm paid up for the class. I want to make Texas 2K. It's a month away. It's going to be tough, but I'm going to try. Look at Austin Rodriguez is asking about other tuners. You got to understand, as a Lund Racing employee, I'm not going to answer questions about other tuners. All I'm going to do is answer questions about our customers, our tunes. I cannot talk negatively or positively, because think about it. If you ask me, is this guy's a good tuner? I go, yeah, you're going to go over there. Stupid. So what I'm going to tell you is there is no better tuning company on the Ford side of things than Lund Racing. And I get it. People say, well, you work there. Of course, you're going to say that. You're going to nut ride them. Well, I work for them, and I see the data, and I see the access, and I see everything we got going on. There's just no better place. Hey, Darren said that I can use a tune from a 2017 and copy it into a 20 Coyote. Whoever Darren is, he's wrong. 3-car garage, $100,000 budget. The cars you pick have to be from the same year. What would you get? $100,000. 3 cars from the same year. 3 1999 Salinas 351s. You didn't say they have to be different cars. What's your thought on the On3 turbo kits? Seems a lot of people are getting them and making decent power. It's a budget kit. It makes good power for cheap money. And that's it. That's all I can say. Now, with the lack of, well, with the budget-friendly style, you're going to run into budget-friendly issues. Fitment, overall quality, and longevity. But while I lived in Houston, everyone had an On3 twin turbo kit, and everybody was making jam. Whether they were making jam for years, that's a whole different case, but the kits make power, period. They're going to make it for years and years? Who knows? Any updates on anyone successfully swapping a 6R80 to a 10R80 computer? No, it's not going to happen. Alevon Major, Alevon, whatever the hell your name is, Al Avon. Make your names easy, guys. Shit. Al Avon Major, no. There is no solution for 10R80, 6R80 swap stuff, period. Okay, because the thing that controls the engine actually controls the trans too. So unless you make a standalone controller to operate the 10R80, and that is an insanely complicated transmission, I would just stick with Gen 3 on Gen 3, Gen 2 on Gen 2, blah, 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 blah. Would you rather fight 1 duck the size of Lund Jr. or 20 ducks size of Lund Jr. or 20 duck-sized Lund Juniors? 1 duck Lund Jr. size. Got no hands. He's got feathers. What headers for the money? For the money for 18 GT. See, that's the thing I don't skimp on. Eduardo, you're going to skimp on something that's crucial to your car. So you want to be cheap with it. I'm not going to be cheap with headers. I'm not going to be cheap with anything. That's the problem with the Mustang market too. You guys are all cheap. And the first thing you do is, well, how much is it? And then you put it on, you buy it, you put it on, the bitch lasts a year, or runs like shit, or it sets off your knock sensors, or it kills O2s. You go, what? What? And you're like, well, yeah, it's cheap shit. So cheap shit gets you cheap results. It's all shit. Austin Rodriguez. I don't know. Part of that statement is right, but I don't even know where that's going. So, what are your opinions on doing cams on a FBO full bolt on 15 to 17 Mustang GT? Is it worth it? Yeah, you can make close to 500 real horsepower with the 85 and all the supporting mods with on a 15 to 17 Mustang. Would you let buy a camera so you don't have to? I don't even know what the hell that means. Martin Baca is trying to be funny, but it's obviously he's attempting to be a comedian, but it's not working. Couldn't you get a Gen 3 Coyote computer and mount it somewhere else and use it just as a dedicated trans controller? No, Riley. Absolutely not, Riley. How are they going to communicate with each other, Riley? What tune would I use? How would I flash that computer, Riley? Does the 13.4 GT500 have the same bottom end as 11.12 GT500? Can it handle more power? I know 5.8 is a little different than the 5.4. No, it's better. Higher compression. I think it's a little more. I don't want to say brittle because a lot of people get on my case when I say it's brittle. It's higher compression, higher revving. So, the bottom end isn't exactly the same, but you can make about the same power with either with similar mods. Buy cheap shoes, get sore feet. Exactly. I like how Austin Rodriguez is trying to dig at Lund, but, whatever. What are you going to do? If you have to ask the price, you can't afford it. Exactly. Just throw it in the bag. What is your max power safe long-term opinion on Boss D1X Pro Charger Ignite fuel car? Well, I would switch power adders, number one, because you want long-term, right? So you get like a Whipple or a Roush blower on that guy, and it'll be more long-term than what you got going on right now. Should I fake my orgasms? It depends how ugly the girl is and if you want to get out of there or if you want to sleep over or not. If you don't want to sleep over, just go, and you're done. Fuck out of there. But then, how do you fake that? Because, I don't know. I've never faked it. I just say I have a leg cramp and I'm out of there. Oh, my leg's cramping, baby. Well, that sucks. Then 6R80 the world. Yeah, Riley, you got to understand, Riley, the 10R80s are not holding up to big power. And John Jr., if he jumps on the chat, he'll tell you the 10R80s are not holding big powers in stock form. Okay, anything in the 700 to 750 and up range, they're burning up clutches. I mean, the clutches aren't holding. You try to do a 7th gear wad pull, it just blows right through the clutch. Now, Manuel Gomez down at Midnight has come up with some solutions for that. With some of the aftermarket. The aftermarket is catching up, but in stock form, I still take a 6R80 over a 10R80. Yeah, did Austin's car run 778? That's funny as hell. No, Austin's car is probably a cold air car, and those are the guys that talk the most shit. The fastest guys at the track are usually in the stands. Okay, best radial setup for a 13 or 14 GT radial setup? Like, do you mean like stock tire or drag radial? Because I don't really do the regular tire thing. I stick a drag radial on it right away. Jordan, I can't answer that because, you don't want to get in trouble talking shit about any manufacturer. Okay, now if I was to recommend one over the other will end up saying, why didn't you rep my shit? So when it comes to part shit, I don't even go there. So yeah. How do you feel about a 778 service bulletin 4 just dropped? 7718 tick service. It's if you have to be a blind and deaf to not know that there's an issue with these 18 engines, when even someone like Coyote Car Guy, he's over in Sarasota, and he ended up having a Whipple supercharger put on his 18 Mustang, had that Orange Fury, beautiful Mustang, and then he ended up he ended up the piston just started scoring into the wall, and it was on a soft tune. So I don't know. Jay, I'll pull buses on your shit. I love the shit talking on. You know how you've made it on YouTube when people start talking shit to each other. Can I get a shout out? Big Daddy Trucker. Shout out to Big Daddy Trucker. Brian Geisler. So why twin screw instead of Pro Charger? What power level is considered safe on my boss with Ignite and return style fuel system? I'm just telling you, you're going to enjoy. I'm not saying Pro Chargers don't make power. You said long term. So the manufacturers only use a certain style blower for long-term use. GT500 Hell, Audi, you know, all these guys use a top mount twin screw style blower for longevity. That's all I'm saying. Uh-oh, Jay and Austin are going at it. I'll leave them alone. Hey, Alex, I want to supercharge my 2019 Mustang GT, and I'm thinking about going Whipple. It is not going to be a track car or garage queen. I'm running 93 and 85. Isn't that common in Louisiana? Oh, I'm running 93 and 85 isn't that common in Louisiana. Then I would keep boost very moderate. I would keep boost like at 8. I mean, the biggest pulley they got, because at the end of the day, these cars are 12-to-1 compression, and you're going to go out there with a small pulley and potentially hurt shit. So I would just keep it at real low boost, because these cars will probably make 650 on very low boost, and that's all you need if you want to keep it on 93. I just don't trust 93 anywhere. When people say I want to go fast on pump gas, I'm like, okay, you're a moron. Get out of my face. So do the 15 plus F-150 Coyotes hold up to the same power as a Gen 2 out of an S550? No. Nope. I mean, I haven't seen them break like in droves. I haven't seen a ton of carnage from 15 F-150 engines, but they're lower compression. The rods aren't the same. The cams aren't the same, no matter who tells you that it is, but they're just not. Okay, so as a new 5.0, okay, Hunter Walker says, as a new 5.0 owner, I'm looking to go just naturally aspirated for now. Do you think I need any transmissions upgrades if I just do basic bolt-ons, catalytic intake? Do you have an auto or manual? If you're auto, you don't need anything. You don't need anything upgraded in that guy if you're naturally aspirated. The moment you go boost, you're going to have to start thinking about, you know, rebuild kit, like an upgraded, you know, clutches and steels, things like that. Just hit a power by the hour, and they'll be the ones that kind of take care of everything transmission-wise. You're lucky enough that you guys have E85 in the USA. We're not lucky. We chose to live here. Exactly, Austin. Austin's asking if Hunter has a sticker auto. When it comes to manual cars, a good clutch, a good shifter seems to work, but unfortunately, Gen 1 MT82s or even Gen 2 MT82s, 11 to 17, let's just say, the gears are the weak point. The gears are the weak point, and they'll break. 18, you guys know what the weak point is, the shift forks, as you saw me break one. Manual 17. Yeah, I would get a good clutch. Mantic, if you want to, you know, really just buy a clutch for the first time and have it for a long time and have it be the best as possible, or a McLeod RST if you're going to stay naturally aspirated. When is the small block Ford build coming? Well, I have to build the Fairmont first. I have to put the Vortec on the 18 first, and now I got this red car that I want to just do a slight naturally aspirated buildup and then try to get it out of here. But if the channel commands more views from that guy, I'll keep it. If the channel makes more money, I'll keep it. But if the channel gets stagnant, then I'll get it out of there. T56 swap or Ben Calimer MT82. Now, so when you're going to consider a T56 or an MT82 like a Ben Calimer Stage 3, okay, that's the one we're comparing it to. The T56, you're going to need a clutch, a shifter, a drive shaft, a bell housing. If you already have an MT82 car, all you need from Ben is the transmission, and everything that you already have bolts right in. So there you go, and they both handle about the same power. People are asking about the Fairmont. No updates. Look, you're going to get an update when there's an update. I'm not one of the, look, I'm not one of these YouTubers that only makes money on YouTube. Okay, I have a full-time job, and then at night, when possible, we try to work on the car, and sometimes it's just not possible. So we just kind of do what we can. But if my job was to build cars, blow them up, build them again, blow them up, then put a power glide in them, then that'd be a different story. The hive demands more. I understand, David, but man, you gotta understand, I'm one guy. I'm a very, when it comes to YouTube stuff, I'm low on the totem pole, you know, but I'm trying to get it up there to the point where it can make a little more money, and then that'll allow me to show you more stuff. But it's a long process because I get paid for a certain skill set I have at Lund Racing, so that takes priority right now. What do you think of the spec clutches? Yeah, I drove a spec ST. Not bad, just a little grabby. When you drive a Mantic or something else, you're like, wow, what a difference. Seriously. What supercharger would you recommend for California street car that has to keep cats? Something that would be reliable and wouldn't cause issues with cats. Honestly, you're fucked in California, dude. I'm not. California is just like the biggest shithole on the planet. I don't know what the hell they're doing. So, I would do like what Roush offers, like a Roush 2.3, because they have a carb EO, I think, and I don't quote me on that, because California, the moment you like put a sticker on your car and it's not OEM, they fail you. So I would stick to what the manufacturers, the OE manufacturers, and Whipple also has a carb EO number. So those two are going to be your best choice, I think. Low on the totem, but one of the best out there. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. It's hard. Are you still an LS swap hater? I'm not an LS swap hater. I think LS swaps are very good for older Chevys. You want to just put some little oomph into an old Chevy and put an LS in it, but keep it away from anything Ford, because we know Ford shit works when it comes to chassis. So a lot of the LS guys adopt the chassis and they go quick in it, but then they lie to you. They're like, well, it's a stock motor. And then you're like, well, it's got cams, head, billet this, billet that, And a lot of people out there, especially the LS nut swingers that are dangling off of some of these guys' nuts, will tell you, well, a stock one went 7s, and then you look at the chassis, it went 7s in. It's some tubular craziness, but I love the LS. It makes real good power. Keep it in a Chevy. Keep it away from my Mustangs. 2004 Salim Extreme or 04 Cobra Coupe? Cobra at that point. If you're going to get, out of those two, be a Cobra. Fastest NA 10 or 80 equipped. Oh, shit, I lost you, brother. Damn, the chat went away. How do I can scroll up on the chat. Cool. It's pretty neat. The fastest NA 10 or 80 vehicles have 409 gears. Actually, Maurice, Steeda has 315s, and they're the fastest, quickest NA 10 or 80 car out there. 315. They went 10.30. So, sorry to burst your bubble there, but the fastest one has 315s. Move to a free state, move to a free state, move to a free state. When I get the N-Gauge for my S550, does it only come with one custom tune? Yeah, if you paid for one tune, you're going to get one tune. Now, if you want a cammed lope tune, a cammed idle tune, what you're going to do is just request it. Now, you got to understand the cam lope tune is free. So we offer free in certain applications, not all applications. You got to ask Johnny Nardi. That's the guy to ask as to which ones we support or not, and if it chops or not. It should chop if we support it. If it doesn't chop, and if it's not supported for chop, sorry, that's kind of how it goes. Everyone told that guy to move to a free state. That's great. Thinking about building, Ray McFarland says, thinking about building a 2015 F-150 with twin turbos. Would Lund Racing offer tuning for something like that? I'm sure we do. It's not a problem. Would you win a race? Who would win in a race? Yellow douchebag versus the wall being built. It's pretty funny. Hell yeah, brother. Someone says hell yeah, brother. Shout out to Garrett. Any info on 6R80 behind a small block Ford? How are you going to control it? How are you going to control it? How are you going to control it? No, I don't know. It's up to you, Alex. 14 GT, 52,000 miles, engine tick. What should I do? Well, you're probably out of warranty. Just drive it. Drive it till it grenades. Get a louder exhaust, honestly, or a badass audio system, because, I'm not going to tell you to put oil or oil additives or anything like that. My 2015 motor ticks, and I don't care. My 2015 motor ticks, and I don't care. It sees good timing. It goes awesome watt. Wide open throttle is watt. So I don't care. Favorite Fox body Mustang, and would you get one after the Fairmont? I had a lot of Fox body Mustangs in my day. Too many. But nothing, in my opinion, beats a 86 notch. 4i notch, super light, still kind of looks old. For whatever reason, I love a 4i notch. Is Lund going to program auto rev matching for 15 to 17s? No, because it would need a sensor upgrade. It would need the logic turned on. It would need a whole bunch of stuff that isn't really something. Let's say if we can do it right, and it costs. Because think about it, when it comes to developing calibrations, what kind of investment are we looking at? Okay, so let's say, for instance, it cost us $100,000 to develop in 2018 to 2019 tune. What do you mean, Alex? What's it cost that much? We got to buy the vehicle. You got to test, and that costs money and time. So how many people are really going to want downshift rev matching for 15 to 17 owners? So we got to develop a sensor, develop calibration. So we got to have a shifter sensor, I think, or just a pedal sensor. Junior is probably best to ask about that. And is it really worth it at the end of the day if like 6 people buy it? Because we're going to want our money. after all that investment, you guys are not like 3 people are going to buy it. Just go to autoblip.com, buy the auto blip box. It does a similar thing, pretty close enough. Fastest NA with MT82. I think that still belongs to one of the guys, Alex. I think he's out of the Midnight Camp. Had a 1030 car, I think. What the hell are you gonna? When the hell are you gonna get a girl? For fuck's sake, man! Don't. Hey, that's funny. Let me read that. That's funny. Don't wait too long. Your nuts will fall off. Hey, Elite Geeks, do you think I'm not getting laid, or do you think because I don't have a girlfriend that I? Come on. My 2017 motor does not tick. That pause when you're going through twin turbo F-150 pulse. Exactly. Fox bodies are cool and all, but at the end of the day, it's still a rattle trap no matter what you do. Damn Skippy, David. Nice silver Terminator Cobra in Fort Myers, 20,000 miles. Someone go get it. Why? So you can get gapped by the red car? Foxes aren't bad after a few days of stitch and seam welding. Hey, you're not wrong. Just wanted to know, in your working of Coyote Motors, have you heard the Department of Boost? Yeah, I've heard of Department of Boost kits. So Department of Boost is a company that makes blower kits with GT500 M122 superchargers and some Trinity blowers to fit onto Coyote Mustangs 11 to 17. It's cheap in terms of price. Build quality is pretty decent. So it's something to look into. I'm gonna check in with Junior real quick, make sure he's not saying, "Hey, get off." Okay, because at the end of the day, he's my boss. Well, they're all my bosses, really. Alex, my dad wants to know if you need to tune your car if he puts a full catback exhaust and long tube headers on a modern 5.0. His last Mustang was a 2000 GT with a 4.6 liter engine. Yeah, if you're gonna put long tubes in the car, it's a good idea to get an aftermarket tune. Supercharger opinion for a 302 of a Fox, a YSI, the Vortec YSI. Okay, these guys are. Thank God I have some pretty up-to-date fans. They're all answering the questions as we go along. That's awesome. Got 120 people watching. That's pretty cool. So I'm going to stay until about 5 o'clock and then end it, and then let it go live, and I'll listen back to it. So the plan is next week around this time, or maybe later at night, maybe 6, 7, or 8 o'clock, depending on when Junior is available. Me and Junior are going to go live, and we're going to pretty much talk about a little bit of everything. I think the Instagram live feeds do so well when we're on the Lund Racing side that I'd like to start it here and then eventually move it over to the Lund Racing YouTube channel. So we want to grow that. We want to make sure there's because we have a ton of content. Like, all the customers send us videos and build pictures and everything. We have so much in the can that we really want to start populating the stuff on YouTube and, provide some of this stuff, provide some of the access that you normally won't get to top tier tuning companies and, talk real deal shit, no bullshit, nothing like that. We'll talk about what products we offer, what kind of support, all that shit. But at the end of the day, we're going to talk some shit too. And that's why I really want to engage the fans. And I try to read as much as possible so that you guys get your questions answered. Okay, wow, you guys are really chatting it up. It's a pain. Bicho carajo. Someone said bicho carajo, which means like damn dick or something like that in Spanish. What's your fastest time in the quarter mile? Martin Baca asks me. 9.153 in the red car at 3,900 pounds. Do we have to worry about O2 sensors on stock 25 GTs with cats? No, I don't think so. If it's stock and it's in the stock location, you shouldn't have to worry about it. Good internals for a short block. Gen 1 Coyote for boost applications. Look, I've had good luck with like what comes in illuminators, Manly and Molly stuff. So Manly rods and Molly pistons. It's like the Coyote Power Pack. It's something that you can just buy as long as the block isn't jacked up and the sleeves are in good shape. You can put that in there and it'll support 900 wheel, because at the end of the day, that's what an illuminator is. It's just a forged rod and piston package on the stock crank. Got a lot in your can now. Guys like Mustang Guru on YouTube. I mean, I don't know. Me? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not the Mustang god or master, but I know some stuff. Right? There's Mike. I'll just point the camera to you. Hey, Alex, even though you've covered it a bunch of times, what are your thoughts on swapping the oil pump gears on my Gen 1 Coyote? I was planning on doing the Gen 1 Whipple and set a low RPM limit. Good idea. Setting a low RPM limit just basically makes it so that you know, keep it from revving it high. But honestly, staying off of the limiter, whatever the limiter is the best way of not jacking your shit up. Love the channel. Keep up the great work. Thank you, sir. Someone's talking to someone else. Ordered a shirt, bro, and you sent me 3. Thanks for looking out. You know why? I got too many, and I got to get rid of them. And no, I'm not going to start offering them for sale again. I'll do it on a case-by-case basis because I'm one guy. I am one fucking guy. I don't have a team of dudes behind me, nothing. I just, it's hard to get up to all of this by yourself when you have a full-time job, especially. What are your thoughts on the 18 manifold on a 15 and up GT? Lockouts or keep the IMRCs? Lock them out. Why do I say lock them out? Because, to be honest, I don't trust any of the pigtails that are out there on the market. Or I don't trust any of the hose routing that you guys can't get right. So at the end of the day, in order to eliminate back and forth so we can just get U-tune and get out of there, lock them out. I just recently acquired an 18 manifold and a GT350 manifold. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to do it this week. I'm going to put my red Mustang on the dyno, probably on a Saturday, so it's not taking up any time, and I'm going to run it with E85. Look, I'm not doing the pump gas game. I got so much E85 here, E85. And I'm going to see what it runs, what kind of power it makes tuned. I could do the stock tuned E85, but honestly, I'm not selling any parts. So I'm just going to throw it on the dyno on E85 and see what it makes with a stock manifold. Because this is going to be a manifold shootout on E85 so that we have all the octane so we don't have to worry about timing or knock sensors. Then I'm going to put the 18 manifold on, okay? Then I'm going to put a GT350 manifold on and see which one makes the most power. I think the 350 and the 18 will be comparable. They'll be pretty close. I think at the end of the day, the 18 manifold is better based on price. But I'm also going to do another test. I'm going to put a GT350 throttle body in the GT350 intake after I run it with the stock throttle body. And then that'll tell me how much you gain or how much you don't gain with the aftermarket throttle body. A lot of people say, well, I want to get this throttle body. And I'm like, honestly, with a stock throttle body, you're going to see about the same power for the money. Okay, let's say it makes another 3 or 4 or 5 with an aftermarket throttle body, GT350 or BBK or whatever. Is it worth $340 for 5 horse that you'll never feel? Probably not. David Miller, what's up, man? Ever came across the code P219A or P219B? It cakes up on a certain tune from a certain tuner and won't come up from a tune from another tuner. Is it a false code? P2, let's look it up right now together. P219A. Okay, P219A, because Google is your friend. So it says air fuel ratio imbalance. So it sees a generic diagnostic trouble code and applies to many OBD2 vehicles that may include but is not limited to blah, 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 blah. When it is stored, it means that the powertrain control module has detected an air-to-fuel ratio imbalance for the bank of the engine, which contains the number 1 cylinder. Okay, so either it's off on another tune, or there's an actual tune issue. So we have to see what that is. Data logging. What usually happens is if you see short-term fuel trim bank 1, and let's say it's trimming 5% out, and short-term fuel trim bank 2 is trimming right on the money, like 10, 101. So there's something going on. It could be an injector issue. It could be a coil issue. It could be a tune issue at the end of the day. Mike Wolverton actually paid. He paid for a question to say a question. 16 GT, can you tune a stage 2 D1X Pro Charger? Better question, would you want to tune it or is it a pain in the ass? 1050X booster pump. Okay, so this is what I'm going to start suggesting people that have a Pro Charger, any Pro Charger, whether it's D1X, P1X, L1X, LMNOP, or a Z. In my opinion, the MAF location on a Pro Charger setup is not ideal. If you look at where the MAF is located, it is located in the intercooler. So the air comes in and then it goes in and then it goes, the intercooler is like square. And then, so the air has to kind of, do all this. And then by the time it gets up there, it's less than ideal. I had a customer with a P1X or D1X supercharger, And we kept having trimming issues, constant trimming issues. I would add fuel at a certain spot and it would jump. And I got with junior, senior, I got with all the guys, and they're like, dude, why don't you just have him suggest he get a relocate the MAF sensor in the pipe about in a straight section right before the bend on the throttle body. And you know what? He did. And you know what? 2 tunes later, we were done. Whereas 5 tunes earlier, we were still having trimming issues. So can we tune a D1X, P1X, whatever the hell you want, Pro Charger setup on any Mustang? Absolutely. If we come into issues in terms of trimming and fuel trimmings and stuff like that, what I'm going to tell you is this. What stage intercooler is it? There's a stage 1 or a stage 2. The HO is a stage 1. The stage 2 is the stage 2. And are you willing to relocate the MAF in the pipe? If so, I guarantee the car will drive better than with the MAF located where it currently is. Sorry for the long-winded answer, but you paid $5, so I thought you deserved a long-winded reply. Wanting 85 in a flex tune, Lund price equals both? Question, or cost 2 separate tunes to purchase? So you get a base tune for $250, okay, like a naturally aspirated tune, and E85 tuning additional is $200 more, okay? So then you're able to get a flex fuel tune as long as your fueling is up to snuff or up to par, and you'll also get an E85R tune, which is a dedicated tune for E85, which you cannot monitor ethanol content on the E85R tune, but it is more aggressive. Carlos Figueroa says, hey, Borico, I might be covered already, but 18 manifold and a 17, I have all the connections, pigtails, and lockouts also not installed. Do I still need tune to work? Yeah, you gotta tune it because it's more of a higher RPM intake. So in order to take advantage of it, I would get a tune. What gear ratio does the red car have? 315 stock. If and when the 2016 GT350 needs a rebuild, stay FPC or crossplane? Stay FPC, stay flat plane, who cares? I am tuned through Junior 93 octane and previous owner before I bought the car. I want to go 85 on my Kinney Bell setup. Can I do a budget? Again, you're talking budget. Stop it. Stop with budget bullshit. Okay. You have a supercharged Coyote and you're talking about being on a budget. Spend the money. Spend the money. Okay. Get a 4 Innovations fuel system. Buy the fuel system once. I have seen a lot of people buy a budget fuel system, and then when they keep pulling down to make more and more power, they go, shit, it's not keeping up. I'm like, right. So you need another fuel system. So buy it once. For a naturally aspirated 11-1450, would you recommend gears? If so, what ratio? Is 410 too much? 410 is too much. 373s are fine. Mike Wolverton says, thanks. Awesome. Thanks. And I thank you for paying $5. Anyone else wants to pay me money to answer questions? Shit, I'll do this all day. Are you excited about the GT500, or are you more concerned with it being a letdown? So the GT500, the new GT500 is going to appeal to more people, I think, than a Dodge Demon or a Dodge Hellcat. I think at the end of the day, you cannot turn a Dodge Demon. You can, but not well. But it drag races so well. I mean, those are badass cars. They're badass. So is the GT500 going to be a drag car? Yeah. No. It's going to be like a Swiss Army knife. It's going to kind of do everything. It's going to stop well. It's going to, drag well. It's going to turn well. And it's going to just show well. Can it do anything spectacular? Probably not. Alex, forgive my ignorance. Can I run an 85 tune in my 16 GT without doing any mods? Yes. As long as you keep the stock intake manifold, all you need is a tune change, and the car is able to run 85. If you get an aftermarket manifold, like an 18 Sniper, don't go to Sniper, but anything else, you'll need injectors. Would aftermarket injectors increase power in my 13 F-150 flex fuel? No. Injectors on their own will not add any power. The 4 rails won't work with the Ken Bell, so make it work, because I've seen return style fuel system on Kinney Bell cars all the time. We're doing one here where we're doing like a Y setup. I mean, it's badass. So, make it work, because you have an expensive car, and I don't want you to max out anything quick. I want buy it once. Okay, just buy it once. Are you going to document your road racing with the white car? Really hoping you do. I'm going to try. What I'm going to do heavily is lean on Frank Perdomo. Frank Perdomo is an avid road racer. He really knows his stuff, and he is going to be my go-to guy, because I don't want to sound stupid and give you wrong information. So I'm going to lean on him a little bit. So yes, I'm going to document it. Would you put 373 gears in a 700 horsepower GT500 or leave them stock? I'd put 373s in a 700 GT500 for sure, especially one that has a 266 first gear, like 13 or 14 GT500s have a 266 first gear. 07 to 12 have a 297 first gear. So use the stock rails. Oh God, I'm not going to answer more questions. Look, call for innovations, man. Seriously, do some calling, man. I mean, they've done it before, or hit up a shop that's done it before and hit them up. Look, at the end of the day, I'm a tuner and I'm not going to suggest parts. The last thing I want to do is start suggesting parts and then all of a sudden, oh, Alex told me to get these parts and it doesn't work with your current setup, because there's so many different iterations of a setup that I don't want to get. But talk to a shop like Power by the Hour. If you're up in Pennsylvania, you got Evolution, you got C&D Auto Tech close to Jersey or Delaware. I don't know, fucking know. You know how that whole shit kind of mixes on its own. If you're in South Florida, you got Lujan Motorsports. If you got Jonathan Wilburn over at Carolina Speedworks, there's so many people that are our dealers that have done this before. So you talk to a shop when you want to do shop stuff. Why do you hate on 0304 Corvettes? I don't hate on them. I don't hate on them at all. I hate on their customers. Hey, someone else paid for me to answer a question. That blows my mind. Mustang GT, that's his name. My oxygen sensor monitors won't complete. No codes. Data log looks good. Car drives great. Had done over 100 driving cycles. PCM problem? Not necessarily, Mustang GT. What I would do is, depending on who's tuning you, whether it's us or anyone else, I would definitely have them look it over and make sure that everything is active. Now, if you are missing the catalytic converter, if you're missing it, it's never going to kick active because it has to see a differential. So it's always going to stay not ready or something like that. Also, you got to get those O2s hot. I'm saying back-to-back watt pulls sometimes for everything to kind of set properly and then pass inspection. So you got to have all your emissions equipment. Your tune has to be 100% everything active, everything. That's the only way, in my opinion, that you're going to have everything actually go active. And if you go on the Ford website, or if you just Google the Ford drive cycle, just Google Ford drive cycle, it gives you specific instructions on how to drive your vehicle so the monitors get set. Beards and Cars paid $2 to say he's in Houston. Was there something before that? Because you paid $2 to put that out there, but I didn't see anything else. High flow cats for a smog required state, are they worth it for the price? This is what I'm telling people. If you got to pass inspection, return that sucker to stock, man. If you are living in an emission state, put the cat's factory shit back on. I had a guy in Arizona, supercharged 16 GT. You know what he did? He put everything back to stock. He had long tubes, this and this and that. He put everything back to stock. We gave him a tune that had everything active. Passed. Does anyone know how good the 85 is in Northern California ethanol content? Isn't Midnight in Houston? I forgot, to be honest. Yes, Midnight. Oh, okay. So if you're looking for someone to do work on your Mustang in Houston, Midnight Performance. Manuel Gomez and the guys. Midnight Performance. And they got a dyno, and they tune like 7 cars a day there. It's crazy. And they race every week. It's nuts. Any advice on doing a V6 swap to the V8 or 3-valve? Should I just buy a new car? I have no idea what he said. Beards and Cars says, you were just talking about going and talking to a shop. I was saying I'm in Houston. Who do you suggest? Oh, yeah, Midnight Performance. And he paid $5 for that question. So you have $7 worth. Hell, me and you should just go on a date because I feel like I owe you now. So yeah, basically, Midnight Performance, look them up. They're all over the place. If you don't know who Midnight Performance is and you live in Houston, then I don't know what to tell you. What about in Huntsville, Alabama? Do they have electricity there? Ray McFarland says, you're out of here, brother? I'll talk to you later. Yeah. Ray McFarland says, have you tuned any cars with the D-Work 400 drop-in returnless pump? Any issues? Yeah, we've had some issues with starting. So there is no check valve. So basically the D-Work 400, when it primes the system, right, and you turn it off, it drains right back. So when you go to start it again, all that air, it just makes it hard to start. So an easy way to take care of that is put an inline check valve, but make sure that check valve flows a bunch. Make sure it flows good. Okay, I'm going to end this pretty quick, pretty soon. It's been what? How long have I been on? I don't know, a long time. So again, this was just a test, but I wanted to just kind of come at you guys with some knowledge questions, and we'll do a live stream with Junior on YouTube next week, Wednesday next week sometime. I'll give you details. Trust me, I'll be on plenty of times. I'm also going to upload a new video. Once I'm done here, I'm going to upload a new video showing Mike putting together an engine on the ground with the Coyote swap brackets from Power by the Hour. Thanks for listening, guys. I'm going to get out of here. It's 5 o'clock. Got to get out of here. How do you end this shit? Yeah, you can see me fumble around with this shit. All right, here we go. Out of here.